then the financial information lah, right? Okay. Okay. So this is basically, what are the uh, assurance engagement that relate or involve by the auditor. Okay, so if you can see here, there are see, there are one, three, one, two, three, uh, four. Okay, excluding audit, three lah. Okay, there are another three of the standards that relate to the assurance engagement. Right? Kalau you tengok kat sini, kita ada ISAE. Okay, ISAE. ISAE. Okay. ISAE adalah International Standard on Assurance Engagement. Okay, this is the first one. Maksudnya, other than ISAE, International Standard Auditing, yang relate pada audit engagement. Okay, assurance engagement, there are another standard. Okay, the first one is the National Standards Assurance Engagement. Another one is ISRS. Okay, ISRS ni apa? ISRS, International Standard on Related Services. Okay, there are two standards covered here. And then ISRE, the other one. ISRE adalah International Standard on Review Engagement. So assurance lain, dia review apa ni? Assurance and review. Okay, so kalau you tengok dalam for the review, okay, review engagement, it relates to the financial statements and other historical financial information. Okay. So dia seolah-olah dalam scope of audit lah di sini. Okay. And the second one adalah other assurance engagement di bawah ISAE. So yang termasuk di dalam ini adalah, contohnya di sini you boleh dapat sustainability performance. Ini with regard to the sustainability reporting lah. Kalau ini ataupun pernah tengok dalam report, kita ada one of the report is sustainability reporting, meaning that even though that report is not prepared by the auditor, but it is a part of the assurance engagement that in conforming, okay, the information that reported in the sustainability reporting is enhance lah reliability of that information. And greenhouse gas statement. Greenhouse gas statement is actually sometimes this report you also can find from this sustainability performance and sustainability report. So it's about greenhouse gas statement. Basically, this report relate to the companies involved dalam chemical, let's say like production company, manufacturing company, for example, the factories, ataupun shipping company. Okay, MISC also has the statement on the greenhouse gas statement. And then prospective financial information, ini semua company ada related information lah of the financial. And we have the compilation of pro forma financial information included in the prospectus. Okay, so they just the previous, more or less previous. financial data ataupun quarterly report, right? And then we have the controls at the service organization. So assurance engagement that auditor will provide with regard to the service, okay, in a service company, okay, control in a service company. And then another one, the one that is basically um, more related, okay, to the auditor prior starting the engagement is the entity's internal control. Okay, since the auditor tu memang dah involved dalam audit engagement pun kita dah ada review or internal control kan. So basically the auditor also can provide the other assurance engagement regarding the report of the internal control here. Okay. And then related service, agreed upon procedure and compilation. So yang ini adalah berkenaan dengan other than assurance engagement, tapi relate pada assurance that can be provided by the auditor. So it's still about the financial information, okay, for this related service. So for the agreed upon procedures, okay, agreed upon procedures, it is about the practitioner is engaged by an entity to issue a report of factual findings based on specific procedure performed. Dia lain dengan audit tak. Kalau you tengok kat sini, dia just report the factual findings. And for the compilation engagement, it is regarding the practitioner is engaged to use accounting expertise to collect, classify and summarize financial information and issue a compilation report. Dia bukanlah sedetail pada auditing process lah. Tapi ini basically yang kita terlibat untuk small medium enterprise yang mana dia orang tak perlu audit, the requirement of audit is not necessary for them, tapi what they can provide, this is audit other related service, okay, untuk mendapatkan verification lah daripada auditor on their financial information. Contohnya bila dia orang nak dapat loan approval daripada bank, so financial statement tu walaupun tak di-audit lah untuk semua medium enterprise yang diorang punya sales, okay, below than 500,000, okay, if I'm not mistaken lah. So dia tak perlu audit. Jadi what they can do to get the approval, in order to get the approval of the loan, so dia boleh dapatkan servis ni lah daripada auditor. So other than that technical, it's quite also technical lah servis yang auditor provided, dia ada juga consulting. So consulting this means that other than assurance engagement, okay, other than the review engagement and the related service, it will falls under consulting services. So consulting services, it can be anything lah, okay, anything within the scope that the auditor could provide that service. Maybe dia nak consulting services, contoh you ni adalah auditor, but you are engaging in one of the sector. Sebelum ni you as an accountant, now you as the auditor. So accountant you tu dalam company yang terlibat dalam industri automobile. So now pada ketika tu you audit company automobile tu want to get your advice lah, consulting service in regards to the nature of the company tu. So then you can provide that consulting service, okay, because you have the expertise in that, plus with the auditing expert that you have, okay. So itulah sebagai contoh lah consulting services. Banyak lagi lah contoh-contoh other consulting services that can be provided by the auditor. So maksudnya di sini kita ada 3, Okay. 3 other related lah, other related services kat sini. Okay. Tak termasuk consulting lah. Consulting ni is like the general one lah kan. So kita ada assurance, kita ada review dan kita ada related services. So tu 3 benda lah yang auditor dan buat juga under the assurance engagement. Okay, assurance engagement, subject matter and subject matter information, criteria, practitioner, intended user, responsible party. So ini tak adalah penting sangat untuk you tahu in detail lah. Tapi at least you tahulah. Okay. So, bila in each of the engagement yang you buat tu, of course lah, dia akan ada risk. And even kalau you conduct auditing engagement pun, ada risk dia kan. Risk untuk you disu oleh your client sebagaimana yang berada dalam chapter on legal liability. So, for the assurance engagement risk, the risk that the practitioner expressed an inappropriate conclusion when the subject matter information is material misstated. Memang financial information of the company tu dah ada materially misstated, and now you're going to give the assurance, okay, assurance services. So itu adalah risky lah bila financial information tu dah materially misstated and it will lead to the wrong opinion, okay, express the wrong opinion or inappropriate conclusion. Okay. So the level of assurance risk is higher in a limited assurance engagement than in a reasonable assurance engagement. And in a limited assurance engagement, the nature, timing, and extent of procedures for gathering sufficient appropriate evidence are less. Okay, to a reasonable assurance engagement. So the practitioner may obtain evidence primarily by performing inquiries and analytical procedures. Okay, so what are the option yang auditor tu boleh, I refer pada auditor lah, yang dalam ni dia cakap, dia refer pada practitioner. Kita assume auditor lah yang perform all that assurance dalam konteks discussion kita. So to reduce the risk tu, in case of the limited assurance engagement, ini limited untuk dapatkan sufficient appropriate evidence. So what the auditor could do here is, dia nak kena obtainkan evidence jugalah, primarily by performing inquiry and analytical procedure. Maksudnya dia nak kena review all the related document lah prior providing the conclusion. Okay, to reduce the engagement risk. So the practitioner provide a written report containing a conclusion that conveys the assurance obtained about the subject matter information. So a reasonable assurance engagement report includes a positive form of explanation of the conclusion. That one is for the reasonable assurance. And if it is a limited assurance, okay, limited assurance macam tadilah, which is due to the limited lah, timing limited in gathering sufficient appropriate evidence. Okay, yang tu adalah untuk limited assurance. So, for the limited assurance engagement report include negative form of expression of the conclusion. So, yang limited tadi due to the difficulty in getting the appropriate evidence lah. So, what the auditor will provide, the conclusion will provide or include a negative form of expression ataupun a reasonable assurance with positive form of expression on the conclusion. However, okay, we also have here modified conclusion. So, modified conclusion ni, if you still remember, okay, we also have the type of audit report with the modified opinion or modified paragraph. So same here, we apply here under the assurance services here. There is also modified conclusion. So the practitioner should issue an assurance report with a modified conclusion if, certainly, other than this, okay, conclusion with a positive form and negative form, there also the situation that will reach you as the auditor to draw the modified conclusion. Okay, it will be due to the following: if there is a material limitation of the scope of the practitioner's work, or subject or meta information is materially misstated, or when it is discovered after the engagement has been accepted that the criteria are unsuitable, okay, or the subject matter is not appropriate for assurance engagement. So boleh boleh withdraw lah. Okay. Dia bukan withdraw, dia tak withdraw tapi dia provide modified conclusion. Sorry, dia bukan withdraw tapi dia provide them modified lah bila dia dapatilah unsuitable or it is not appropriate for an assurance engagement. And the materiality and persuasiveness of the effect of the matter determines if a qualified conclusion or an adverse conclusion or disclaimer conclusion is required. So it could be juga kalau due to the materiality and pervasiveness of the effect of the matter, it could be akan ada qualified conclusion, adverse conclusion or disclaimer. So ini pun still relate with the opinion yang auditor provided lah dalam audit report, independent auditor's report. So they apply the same in this assurance engagement. Okay, ISAE 300. ISAE adalah stand for International Standard Assurance Engagement. So that standard established the procedural requirements for assurance engagement that not covered by ISAE or ISRE. ISAE kita tahu lah International Standard Auditing ataupun ISRE International Standard Review Engagement. So this will be covered under ISAE International Standard Assurance Engagement. Okay, so ethical requirement, quality control, engagement acceptance and continuance, agreeing on the terms of the engagement, planning and performing the engagement, using the word of an expert, obtaining evidence, considering subsequent events, documentation, preparing the assurance report and other reporting responsibility. So using the word of an expert ni maksud bukan dalam skop yang kita discuss dalam previous chapter Ini dalam skop yang lain. Ni kecil sangat nampak. So what this is the assurance report class. Tak tengok dalam textbook ada ke tak assurance report. Ada ke? Okay, independent assurance report. Kalau textbook you ada page 576. So this is the independent assurance report of Rio Tinto. Company's name is Rio Tinto. So it is on the sustainability development lah. So kalau you Kalau you tengok dekat tadi mana tadi sini. So dia di bawah ISAE. Okay, dia di bawah ISAE itulah yang kita nak discuss ni, yang kita tengok dalam ni adalah sustainability performance, dia punya example. Okay. So what we found based on the word described below, nothing has come to our attention that caused us to believe that the selected subject matter for the year ended 31st December 2011 has not been prepared and all materials in accordance with the reporting criteria. So, to the directors of Rio Tinto and Rio Tinto public limited companies and Rio Tinto Limited together with the Rio Tinto, and what we did, okay, the Rio Tinto engaged us to perform a limited assurance engagement, okay, on the selected subject matter within the sustainable development review section of the Rio Tinto 2011. Annual report for the end of 31st December 2011. So the selected subject matter is about the Rio Tinto assertion that it has incorporated the requirements of the 10 Sustainable Development Principle of the ICMM, ini company mining lah kot, and the mandatory requirements set out in the ICMM position statement or into its own policy, strategy and standards. Then it provides for the third point tu, Rio Tinto's assertion regarding the assistance and status of implementation of system and approaches used to manage the following selected sustainable development risk area: safety, greenhouse gas emission, energy use, and water. And the following Rio Tinto performance data related to the selected sustainable risk area. So they provide the sustainable development data risk, okay, about dia punya number of fatalities, greenhouse gas emission, okay, and then reporting criteria. The subject matter has been assessed against the definitions and approaches which will be presented at. So they provide the link yang dia assess lah. Okay. So we look at the what our work involved. So we conduct our work in accordance with the ISAE, okay, 3000. The standard requires that we comply with the independence and ethical requirements and plan the engagement so that it will be performed efficiently. And the last one, we believe that the information we have obtained is sufficient and appropriate to provide basis to our conclusion. So maksudnya yang ni dia consider as qualified lah. Okay. Consider as unqualified kalau independent auditor report lah, sebab dia obtain sufficient and appropriate evidence to provide the basis of the conclusion. So ini you boleh dapat, okay, all the question you boleh dapat daripada report tadi lah yang kita baca tu, okay, from the assurance report. Who are responsibility party and intended user of the assurance report? Of course lah, the stakeholders kan, who is an assurance provider. So assurance provider dia adalah siapa kelas? Who is the assurance provider here? Siapa assurance provider dia? In this case. Who? Who are the assurance provider? Anda nak jawab ke? Selalu macam tu. Kalau tanya, saya jawab. Saya tanya simple je. Daripada slide ni dia tanya. Dia tanya. Who is the assurance provider? So, saya tanya you, siapa? Susah sangat ke soalannya? Kan dalam textbook tu dia ada yang sign dia tu adalah PricewaterhouseCoopers. So, itu adalah assurance provider dia. Saya tanya dalam case ni kan, saya tanya. You ni, tak payah nak cakap-cakap chartered accountant lah ni. Sekarang example kita ni. Tengok textbook ni. PricewaterhouseCoopers. Okay, so to revise your understanding, so you boleh tengok all these question. Okay, so this is another example on the sustainability report lah. Actually, sustainability report, but this is on the greenhouse gas emission. Okay, scope 1, scope 2. And then kita lagi di bawah ISAE, which is on we have the type 1 and type 2 report. So the type 1 report include the description of the service organization system, and there is a written assertion by the service organization that the description fairly present the system and that the service organization's controls are suitably designed to achieve management's control objective as of a certain date, and the assurance, the service auditor's assurance report that provides reasonable assurance about these matters. And for the type 2 reports, the service organization's written assertion that the controls of the service organization system operated effectively throughout the specific period. And the service auditor's assurance report providing reasonable assurance and the control tested operated effectively throughout the specific period, as well as description of the test of control and the result thereof. So the details about the type 1 and type 2 report on the ISAE 3402. So ada dalam SBU 579, okay. So ini adalah assurance controls or assurance report on control at the service organization. You still remember we have this one. Tadi yang service tadi. Yang ni. Okay. Yang ni. Controls at service organization. So yang ni yang kita bincang ada type 1 and type 2. Okay, type 1 and type 2 report, which is regarding the service organization. Assurance on prospective financial information. So we have the financial forecast and financial projections. So financial forecasts are prospective financial information based on the expectation of future events and actions, while the financial projections are prospective financial information based on hypothetical assumptions about future events and action. So bila tengok sekali tu macam sama dengan financial project forecast dan financial projection, tapi yang bezakan financial projections dia ada hypothetical assumption, so dia tu lagi strong lah kan daripada financial forecast. Forecast ni based on your expectation, tak ada tak berasas lah. Okay, financial forecast tu. Kalau financial projection tu ada hypothetical based on your research juga lah. You provide, then you provide this financial projection for the companies. So you are not, apa yang you assume tu adalah bersandar lah. Okay, bersandar kepada hypothetical research juga. Okay, yang you buat untuk derive the financial projection figures. Next adalah review on the historical of financial information. So di sini dia ada review, okay, review process. And actually a review process tu adalah as an alternative to an audit lah. Kalau audit ni dia lagi affirm lah sebab kita ada verification and kita ada all the process, audit planning, kita dah analyse audit risk, kita ada sampling and then kita ada audit procedures kan yang nak kena follow. Tapi kalau review ni adalah alternative lah to an audit yang it just macam shortcut lah, okay. Shortcut tapi dia tak ada verification. So review performed by the auditor of the entity, for example review of quarterly financial reporting. Okay, so in this process, okay, what the auditor can do is inquiries and conduct the analytical procedures. Okay, and in this situation, if there is a limited assurance, okay, kalau reasonable barulah positive form kan of conclusion tadi. Kalau tengok balik slide yang sebelum ni, if ni, kalau limited assurance ialah negative form of aspirations of the conclusion, kalau reasonable baru positive. So kalau in this case dia cakap ialah limited assurance, so limited assurance they will be the negative form of expression of the conclusion. So the practitioner ataupun kita refer pada auditor express that no information came to his or her attention indicating that the financial information is materially misstated. So this is example, okay, inquiries, okay, with regard in this process, inquiries, example, inquiries concerning how management make the significant accounting estimates, inquiries concerning the identification of related parties and related party transactions, inquiry about significant, unusual or complex transactions, events or matters that have affected or may affect the entity's financial statement, inquiry about existence of any actual suspected or illegal fraud, and the inquiries on the subsequent event, inquiries about basis for management assessment of the entity's ability to continue as going concern, and the inquiries about all the material commitments, contractual obligations and contingency, and also inquiries about material non-monetary transactions or transactions for no consideration in the financial reporting under certain consideration. So this is the report, okay? Independent practitioners review report, and this is under the type of unmodified conclusion. So kenapa dia ada unmodified conclusion ataupun contoh kalau dalam audit adalah unmodified paragraph, dia adalah due to the reason lah. Okay, kalau you tengok dekat conclusion di bawah tu, it is this okay, so this due to the financial statement do not present fairly in all material aspect. Okay. Itu I do not present fairly lah. That's why dia ada di bawah kategori of unmodified conclusion. Okay, di sini pun sama juga, mana tadi? Not prepare, did not prepare with the applicable financial reporting framework. So that's why they come out with the unmodified conclusion. Okay, so dia sama macam proses audit yang kita issue, independent audit reports. The base yang digunakan tu adalah sama lah. Okay, so this is the qualified conclusion. So basis for qualified conclusion and the qualified conclusion. So this is the basis dia berdasarkan isu apa basis dia di sini cerita pasal absolute property and long term debt. Based on review, with the exception of the matter described in the preceding paragraph, nothing has come to our attention that causes us to believe that the accompanying interim financial information does not present fairly. Okay, in all material respect, the financial position of the Nevada company. Okay, nampak dia nak address and not present fairly. So this is related service. For the related service, kita ada agreed upon procedure and compilation. Yang tadi ni adalah assurance kan? Assurance engagement. Betul tak? Previous adalah assurance engagement. Yang ni adalah related. The other one, related service. So dia ada agreed upon procedures and compilation. So this is the example of the report of the factual findings on the agreed upon procedures for the account payable. So kalau you tengok dalam textbook you tu, when the practitioner performs an agreed upon service and agreed upon procedure engagement, the practitioner should ensure with the entity that there is a clear understanding regarding the agreed procedures and the conditions of the engagement and the plan the work so that effective engagement will be performed. The document matters that are important in providing evidence to support the report of factual findings and document compliance with the ISRS 440 international standard of the related services of 4400 and term of engagement, carry out procedure agreed upon and use the evidence obtained as a basis, okay, as the basis for the report of the factual findings. Report the factual findings in accordance with ISRS 4400. Maksudnya yang di-prepare ni dalam slide ni adalah berdasarkan 4400. Okay. So ISRS 440 may also provide guidance for the practitioners for engagements involving non-financial information, provided that the practitioner has adequate knowledge of the subject matter in question and suitable criteria exist on which to base finding. So prosedur yang auditor akan conduct untuk agreed upon procedure ni adalah samalah, dia akan ada macam audit procedure juga, dia akan ada inquiries, analysis, recomputation, observation and inspection as well as confirmation, okay, dalam kita punya audit process. And the other one, Compilation Report. Okay. So, macam I ada explain pada awal slide tadi, untuk Compilation Report ni, SMEs, dia basically pada SME lah, semua medium enterprise yang tak perlu audited financial statement. It's not mandatory. Okay. So, what the option yang dia boleh buat bila dia nak apply loan apa dia punya financial statement tu mestilah di-verified lah. So, what the option dia boleh buat di sini adalah compilation. Okay. So, the entities, okay, the entity of SME may employ a practitioner to assist with preparing their financial statement, tax return, or other financial documents, okay, or to provide a compilation, okay, a compilation of the financial statements or other financial information. So, dalam compilation tu, okay, in compilation engagement, the practitioner assists management with the preparation and presentation of financial information without obtaining any assurance on that information and reports on the engagement. So yang untuk compilation ni kita di bawah ISRS 4410. Yang tadi 4400 adalah untuk agreed upon procedure lah. Okay. So they follow the guidance in ISRS 4410 for the compilation engagement. So the standard is applicable when the practitioner is engaged to compile historical information, historical financial information such as financial statement, and provide a report for the engagement in accordance with the standard. So ini adalah example compilation report. We to the management of the black and white company, we have compiled the company financial statement of the company based on information that provided. So dia cakap, so dia dah financial statement comprised of the statement of financial position, SOCI, okay, statement changes of equity, and the cash flow. So they perform based on the ISRS 4410. We have applied the expertise, blah blah. Okay, following, okay, then following with the ni lah untuk SME kan, the IFRS. IFRS for SME, we have to comply with the relevant requirement, including integrity. Inilah professional ethic ni kan. The measurement accuracy and completeness of information used to come from them are your responsibility. So dia tak perlu verification lah, itu yang membezakan ya. Macam I highlight daripada tadi, dia tak ada verification lah. Dia hanya apa dia ISR review lah, okay? Dia review. Yang ni bukan assurance engagement So dia di bawah related service. Ni lah. Masuk lah. Okay. So itu sahajalah untuk this topic. Soalan? So kalau tak ada, so setakat tu kelas. Okay. Setakat tu kelas untuk hari ini. Nanti saya akan ada bagi latihan lah untuk you buat for as considered as the even afternoon class nanti lah. So macam biasalah you take your attendance, and for today jangan lupa mark your attendance. Okay, and then suppose this week adalah submission kan? Submission part 2. So on your submission of part 2 tu, So this week you kena submit, saya akan buat link lah. Kalau saya lupa tu mungkin lambat-lambat sikit nanti saya buat. Kalau saya dah buat, saya update lah. So untuk you submit part B and part C. Okay? And you have to continue for all parts lah, maksudnya part D lah. Semua sekali tu. Maksudnya untuk part B and C ni untuk saya tengok secara apa ni? Not tara lah. Saya akan tengok sekali limbas macam mana apa yang you buat tu. And kalau ada perlu you amend, you kena amend lah. Okay. So, thank you. And see you again next week insyaAllah. Assalamualaikum. So, jangan lupa untuk petang nanti akan ada saya letak soalan untuk you buat consider for the class untuk this afternoon lah. Okay, thank you. Assalamualaikum.